Sorry about that. I did not think things were gonna start to ramp up right again these next few moments, but it turns out, we already got in two tornado warnings once again, and I mean, like I said, I just didn't know if it was gonna be active again. So yeah, it turns out, we already got a tornado warning currently in effect for parts there of Oklahoma. So we will need to, be watching those areas very closely as, things once again, will be something to watch for. And it looks like we just got another tornado warning currently in effect. Oh my goodness, okay. We actually got an observed tornado warning. I'm actually glad I timed that. I'm actually glad I timed that just right. And I'm kind of surprised my things didn't pull up. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and just turn. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and turn all these off. But like I said, I did not think things were gonna start to ramp up again. But once again, though, we do have a observed tornado warning currently in effect for parts there of Oklahoma. And this tornado is currently on the ground. So if you do live in parts there of places like Stonewall, all the way up there towards Lula, Leader, you guys need to make sure you guys are in your safe spots as we currently have a tornado on the ground in Oklahoma. I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. Tornado on the tornado on the ground in Oklahoma. So, definitely make sure you guys are in your safe spots if you do live across that area. As things are already starting to ramp back up really quickly, and it looks like we even have another tornado warning we are still going to be watching for too, as well as we still got a lot of areas to still keep an eye on. And so if we go ahead and select the radar, as you guys can see, got some pretty decent looking storms over there. This one has an area of rotation pretty much in that area of the storm right there. And if we take a look at the velocity scan, as you guys can see, we do have a couple areas of rotation in the storm, so we definitely are going to continue to watch that one very closely as that one does continue. We also are watching the storm right there too, as well as, like I said, we do have an observed tornado currently on the ground in this warning right there. And once again, if we do take a look at the velocity scan, got a decent area of rotation in that storm located just right there. So if you do live in this observed tornado warning, like I said, make sure you are getting indoors and away from windows. If you live in Stonewall, Sentry, Ahoma, I think that's how I say that, back down there towards to Elo. Make sure you guys are in your safe spots as we do currently have a tornado on the ground, like I said. And if we look at the correlation coefficient, we definitely got a little bit of a sign there of some possible debris going up into the atmosphere. That's a little bit concerning right there, that there may be a tornado currently on the ground. And if we take a look at the velocity to determine that, like I said, we got some pretty big area of rotation right there. And like I said, we even got you know, that pretty big debris ball showing up right now currently. So we will definitely watch this area very closely, as this is a very concerning area of rotation. So make sure you guys are taking this very seriously if you have not taken it seriously just yet. And so once again, make sure you are doing that. But back down here towards, you know, this tornado warning too as well, this is just radar indicated, and we still got, you know, a tornado warning currently in effect for areas between, Caddo up there towards, Aton, Kotoka. You guys need to make sure you guys are in your safe spots, as this is going to continue, you know, to be a pretty big problem. So once again, make sure you are taking this very seriously. And, you know, we are still going to continue to watch that one too, as well, as that one is still continuing to the north. And once again, got that tornado warning still on the ground, as we do have a little area of rotation currently located right there. And if we take a look at the velocity scan, yeah, we got a pretty decent area, like I said, of rotation right there near the Tupelo area in Oklahoma. So if you do live in that area, make sure you are getting into your safe spots, and you know that even, you know, is looking even more concerning on the latest radar scan, as this area location is still starting to ramp up. If we look at one of these storm chasers, sound like he has any signal, but with this one right here, you know, he's kind of losing signal too as well. So there's a chance, you know, those winds may be on the stronger side of things across, you know, some of those areas. And you know, if you're wondering what that noise is, that is actually, you know, those storm chasers right there. And I think that was a little bit loud actually, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn that down just a little bit. And I apologize for that, guys, especially if that made a lot of noise. Let's go ahead and play that. Let's see, yeah, like I said, he's losing quite a bit of signal right now, but you know, he's definitely getting pretty close. Wow, looks like they're all losing signal. Something's happening. And I think I'm going to turn this off because it sounded better without it. But once again, though, still are watching these 3 tornado warnings still in effect for parts there of Oklahoma. You know, as we still got some areas of rotation still around, because like I said, you know, right in this area, we still got an area of rotation right there. And the latest on the velocity stand still does show that strong area of rotation right there, so we will continue to watch that very closely. But like I said, you know, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. This is very important because, like I said, I did not think things were going to ramp up this quick, but it's definitely something that, you know, like I said, we weren't really expecting this. So yeah, like I said, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Still got a tornado around. It looks like they are getting ready to expire that pretty soon, and it also sounds like they took. Sorry, I think we're in changes now. Okay, there we go. We're going to go ahead and save that. But there we go. Once again, though, we are still going to be watching those areas very closely, as those areas are still under a tornado warning. So we are still going to continue to watch those very closely. If you are just joining my live stream right here, like I said, I didn't think things were gonna start to ramp up this quickly, guys. It was very calm, and then when it boom and exploded like a bomb. I mean, that was very dramatic right there. And that's why I decided to went live with them. Plus, there was also a moment where we had a tornado on the ground for a brief period of time. So that was pretty unfortunate, guys. But like I said, we will always go live if there's a tornado warning in effect. So once again, I need you guys to please subscribe, as we will continue to keep you guys updated with the latest on what we can expect on this channel. So make sure to do that if you have not already. And once again, we are still watching a little area of rotation up there towards parts there. Let's zoom in so we can see towards parts there of Tupelo in Oklahoma, so make sure you guys are continuing to be in your safe spots. We also have a tornado warning down here into parts there of let's see, into parts there of southern Oklahoma. And as you guys can see, if we take a look at the velocity scan, still got some areas of rotation, like I said, including down here, where we got a little bit of something still, but it's not really looking too concerning as of right now. Let's see. So yeah, we once again, we will continue to watch those very closely, as those are likely going to continue to be a threat. So once again, make sure to do that if you haven't already. But here, I will be right back. Hold on just a second. But once again, though, we are still going to be watching those areas very closely. But yeah. But once again, though, we still currently got a tornado warning in effect for parts there of Oklahoma, as you guys can see. So we are still going to continue to watch those areas closely, as we still got that potential around. And it also is getting pretty late, so I'm probably not going to be live as long as I did on the last one, but we will still continue to, like I said, be live, as this is still looking quite dangerous out here. So once again, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, as this is going to continue to, be something to really be keeping an eye on very closely. And we even still got a tornado warning in effect for those areas down there near Caney, Oklahoma, Truska, Oklahoma. We need to be watching those areas very closely still, as those will continue to be something to watch. We also do have, a lot of special weather statements still in effect for parts there of Oklahoma, including up here towards Burbank, Sheridan. I think that's actually Shrydle, and I'm not sure how you actually say that actually, but you know, we definitely are still going to continue to watch that very closely, as that still does continue to look to be something to keep an eye on. We also still got storm chasers around, still continuing to watch that area closely as well. Once again, it looks like he may be losing some signal out there. But let's see about Concraft. Okay, it looks like he has some signal right now. And yeah, looking a little bit interesting. Not really seeing anything too crazy, though, occurring with that storm. But, you know, definitely is more by itself. And, you know, it definitely is looking a little bit on the concerning side of things. You know, we also will continue to, you know, also watch some of these other areas too as well, as, you know, we also got a tornado warning still in effect for these areas up there towards places like you know, Stonewall and, you know, Century, Homa. Those areas are still currently under a tornado warning still, so we will once again continue to watch those areas very closely. And you know, that's about all we have going on so far, so we're gonna still continue to be live, as we still got some tornado warnings still in effect once again. As you know, this is still, you know, got a little area of rotation right there, and if we take a look at the velocity scan, you know, still got a decent little area of rotation right there. Not really seeing anything as concerning as what we saw before, but that is still a little bit on the concerning side of things for maybe a brief spin up tornado or two. And it looks like that part might be, you know, strengthening a little bit. We kind of got a little bit of a hook shape to that. Let's go ahead and see if that has any rotation with it. Yeah, not much rotation with it, but once again, that is trying to organize though, so we definitely will continue to watch that one very closely, as that one does, you know, continue to strengthen potentially. We will still be watching, you know, these storm chasers, as well, as you know, they are continuing to get closer to, you know, the storm. It looks like he finally got back to connection, and you know, he's facing, you know, the part of the storm that could definitely drop a tornado, but it doesn't really seem to really have too big of a potential, as you guys can see, there's not really a whole lot showing on there. But we will continue to, you know, even watch these ones too as well. Those ones are still capable of producing, you know, a tornado or two these next few hours. So once again, we are still going to continue to watch that very closely. So make sure to definitely continue to take this, you know, very seriously, as this is still going to, you know, continue to be a little bit of a problem. And, you know, we also, you know, will still be watching some of these other areas very closely, as, you know, some of these other areas still look to continue to have that potential for, you know, some tornadoes. So, you know, once again, we will still continue to keep an eye on these. And they will be expiring, in each of these will be expiring pretty soon. So once again, we will watch it closely, but not really looking like anything too concerning, at least just yet. But you know, once again, still got some tornado warnings still in effect, as you know, this is still, you know, an area to really keep an eye on closely, as this is still looking on the concerning side of things. If we look at the list from the Storm Prediction Center, we have not checked that out just yet, but they are, still continuing to look concerning as there is a relatively greater chance of a tornado along the front as storms intersect. So, this is going to continue to start, getting a little bit worse during the next few hours, especially as the storms start to intersect. So, that's why we already got quite a bit of tornado activity still ongoing as of right now. So that's once again why we're live again, which, like I said, I wasn't really expecting to, but I decided I would go live again because of how bad it went from nothing to boom. Wow, just so dramatic to hear. So once again, we will watch it very closely. Now, I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but I also do want to let you guys know that, I did do a lot of community posts for today, including, that vote on if you guys want me to keep the picture on my channel where I'm in front of the 7-day forecast. So if you guys want me to do that, because I don't think all of you guys have voted on that poll yet, but if you guys haven't voted, you guys can let me know down in the chat on if you guys think I should continue to keep my photo where I'm in front of the 7-day forecast, like I said. So, make sure to, do that if you haven't already yet, so that way you guys can give me a good idea. And it sounds like most of you guys have, said yes, or absolutely very professional looking. So like I said, if you have, not voted today yet, or if you haven't let me know down, in the comments or anything like that, make sure to do that, so that way I know, because, I really want to know your guys' opinions on, how this stuff is looking like, because, it's just, something I would really like to know, like I said. But once again, still got tornado warnings still in effect, as these areas are still looking on the concerning side of things for that potential of tornado or two. So we will continue to watch those areas very closely. We also do have some storms currently ongoing up there towards, Tulsa, Oklahoma, with still that potential of, some damaging winds, some large hail. Those will be areas to continue to watch very closely, as this still is looking to be on the concerning side of things. And like I said, guys, if you guys haven't, done anything yet, make sure to, let me know down in the comments. Because like I said, I think it would be really cool if you guys could let me know on if I should keep my picture where I'm in front of the 7-day forecast, because I just really want to know, guys. It's just something that I would appreciate. So, once again, make sure to do that before we forget. And we will still continue to watch some of these areas very closely, as once again we still got 3 tornado warnings still in effect, as some of these areas still have some rotation with them. So once again, we are going to still continue to watch some of those areas very closely, as some of those areas may have a little bit of rotation, but that's still is a little questionable with some of these storms, because, maybe this one behind it turns out, to be tornado warned, as that one's starting to enter that favorable environment. But as of right now, though, still got some areas of rotation, as, we are starting to see, those reds touching those greens, just indicates a little bit of rotation. But to me, it's not super concerning just yet. And it looks like we just got a new tornado warning currently in effect. This is radar indicated now. So this doesn't seem to, like I said, be the worst, but as you guys can see, though, we still got an area to watch for very closely, as we still got that area of rotation. And if we look at the velocity scan, we still got that area of rotation down here, and we even got a little bit of moderate to, broad rotation up here, in this part of the storm too as well. So once again, we are going to continue to watch, those areas very closely, as that does continue to head towards the north, as once again got that area of rotation to still watch very closely for. This one should, expire in just a minute, as that one is almost, as the storm is almost completely past that area. So, once again, definitely make sure you are keeping an eye on that. But once again, though, still got some tornado warnings still in effect, as, these do continue to head towards the northeast. So, we definitely will need to continue to watch those areas very closely still. These should, start to calm down in just a second, as, these aren't really looking as concerning, like I said, but we will still continue to watch very closely. It looks like we just got a new severe thunderstorm warning up here across the downtown Wichita area. This goes for pea-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds across that area, so we will need to be watching that area up there very closely, as that will continue to, be a little bit of a problem right there. So we will continue to watch that. We also, still got, areas down here, once again, towards places like, Gentry, once again, for that potential of a tornado, as we still got some radar indicated rotation around as well. So once again, we are still going to continue to watch this area very closely, as this is still going to continue to be a little bit of a problem right here. And once again, we still got that area of rotation right there, as you guys can see, as this is still capable of producing a tornado as well. So once again, we are going to still continue to watch that closely. We also do have another tornado warning still in effect for these areas, as this area down there is still capable of producing a tornado as well. So we will still need to be watching that area as well. And so, once again, make sure to keep an eye on it, as this is still going to continue to have that capability of potentially producing a tornado or two. And once again, that area of rotation is up here towards, areas near Gentry. So once again, we are still going to need to keep an eye on those ones as well. And, we still, are going to also be watching these areas farther to the north, as well as, once again, still got some areas of rotation, and continue to keep an eye on very closely across these couple of areas, as you guys can see. We may start to see, some other storms start to ramp up too as well, including these areas farther down south. We got quite a bit of storm activity ongoing. And look at this one right here, guys. We actually got quite a bit of a hook shape to it, which I'm actually kind of concerned that this one may go tornado warned pretty soon. And if we check that out, if we look at the velocity scan, it doesn't show any rotation as of right now. That might actually be because we're not on the right radar, but that definitely doesn't really show a ton of rotation, but it's definitely something to, once again, can continue to keep an eye on closely, as that does look like it could become tornado warned pretty soon. We also are still watching, area down there towards Albany, Texas, and even some of these other areas. So we will continue to watch that. Even Abilene, Texas, will also need to be watching very closely as well. And, some of these tornado warnings are starting to expire, but once again, they still have that capability of potentially producing a tornado or two, as those areas still look to have that capability of potentially producing a tornado. But like I said, guys, once again, still are going to be watching a lot of these areas very closely, as, this is still going to be something to really be keeping an eye on still. We still got, it looks like we just got another tornado warning now in effect for this storm right there. And this still does have some rotation with it, as you guys can see across those areas. Let's just go ahead and select this radar now. And yeah, I mean, this storm does still look like it may be capable of producing a tornado, as it's just starting to enter this tornado warning right here. So once again, we are still can continue to watch that area very closely, as that is still a pretty big storm that we still need to be watching closely for. We also are watching these areas farther to the north as well, with once again still that possibility of a tornado or two, especially for these areas near Gertie in Oklahoma. So once again, make sure to be keeping an eye on that closely. We also do have, other areas like Ada to keep an eye on, as well, as these will continue to, still once again be capable of maybe producing a tornado or two. So we will continue to watch a lot of those areas very closely. So, once again, still are going to be watching closely. We also will, also be watching these areas, up there towards Gentry, like I said, as we still got a little area of rotation right there. And so, we definitely will need to continue to keep an eye on that one, as we still got, some areas of rotation in this area that I'm circling right there, which once again are still going to be capable of producing a tornado or two, as this is still looking to be a little bit on the concerning side of things. So, we definitely will continue to keep an eye on that. But once again, though, we are still going to be watching, some of these areas very closely, as, we still have that potential, like I said, for, a couple of tornadoes around. So once again, we are still going to be keeping on those areas very closely, as these, do continue to head towards the north. So, we definitely are still going to continue to keep an eye on that very closely. But, we definitely are still needing to watch, some of these other areas as well, very closely, as, places like Calvin, down there towards, Gentry, still, likely to see a tornado or two, as these do continue to move towards the north. Haven't produced a tornado yet, but these, are still going to be an area to really be keeping an eye on very closely, as those will continue to head towards the north and as well as the northeast. We also will be watching the storm down here that the storm chasers are on, as, we still have that potential of a tornado or two with these ones farther down to the south as well. Connor Croft, still currently, ongoing near that storm. He hasn't really seen a whole lot with the storm just yet, but it's definitely getting to the point where we are still going to need to be watching that storm very closely, as that storm does continue to head towards the north and northeast. We also, will need to be watching these areas up there towards, parts there of Gentry, for still that potential of, some rotation and perhaps even a tornado or two, as these do continue to head towards the north. So once again, make sure to be paying attention very closely if you are in one of these tornado warnings, as this is still going to be a storm capable of producing a tornado or two. Please. 20 minutes. But once again, though, we still got tornado warnings to still be watching for closely once again, as, this is still going to be something to really be keeping an eye on, like I said, as some of these storms are still going to be capable of producing a tornado or two, as, we head into the next couple of minutes. Once again, though, these storm chasers have not seen anything too crazy just yet. But if we, zoom into this, if this will undo full screen, there we go. Starting to see maybe a little bit of something over there, but that's more than likely just a scud. So once again, not really seeing anything too crazy or concerning just yet, but this is still looking to be something to continue to keep an eye on, as this will continue to, get a little bit worse here or there. Alright, looks like we just got a new tornado warning in effect for areas up there to the north, for places like Gentry once again, so we will still continue to watch those areas very closely, as once again we are still going to be watching for this. Let's see, Wilmingham, thank you so much for joining my live stream right here, my friend. I hope I hope you do stay safe from the storm, as if you do live in Oklahoma, make sure you're being weather aware for today, as we are still going to continue to watch a lot of these areas very closely, as some of these are capable of producing a tornado. So once again, we will definitely continue to watch that. And latest from the Storm Prediction Center still is concerned with that potential for, once again, an increasing risk for tornadoes as we head into the evening hours. So once again, we are going to continue to watch that very closely, as that will likely continue as we head into the evening hours today. We also will, continue to see that potential as that storm still, once again continues to head towards the north and northeast. So we will definitely continue to keep an eye on that, like I said. But, we definitely will continue to keep an eye on it very closely, as, once again, we will still have that potential for, once again, a couple of tornadoes. Let's see here. I am far away from any tornado. Hello from, Cardiff, Wales, UK. Interesting, my friend. I did not know you were that far away from here, but I can actually go ahead and see exactly where that is. So you say you're up there in the UK. Oh, I see. Yeah, I actually heard of that place before. That is very interesting, my friend. I did not know you were all the way up there, but thanks for joining from far away, my friend. I really do appreciate that. And, feel free to stay tuned as long as you would like. But once again, though, we still got tornado warnings still in effect for parts there of Oklahoma. So once again, we are going to still continue to watch these areas very closely, as these will continue to head towards the north and northeast once again. These don't really look to be like that bad of storms, because none of them have been observed just yet, but this is still enough to where we are still going to be concerned for maybe another tornado warning or two. So once again, make sure you are watching very closely, as this is still going to continue to be something to keep an eye on once again. But we still are going to also be watching areas far to the north. And if we take a look at Wichita again, it looks like that storm has just expired, so that's good. But we will once again still continue to watch those areas very closely. And once again, haven't seen anything observed yet, but we'll still continue to watch this closely, as these will continue to head towards the north. And something else I kind of do want to show you guys, before it gets late, is the tropics. I know we got a lot going on right now, but I do want to tell you guys that we do currently have Tropical Depression 8 currently ongoing in the Caribbean Ocean, and this will likely continue to upgrade to a hurricane, but may die down to tropical storm. We'll have to see exactly how long this lasts, but we will definitely continue to keep an eye on it once again, as this does continue to head towards the north. Let's see here. I lived a long time ago in Georgia and also North Carolina. Very interesting, my friend. I did not know you used to live live here in the United States. If you're wondering about how it was with me, I used to live in Idaho, which is all the way up there, in the Rocky Mountains. But we actually live down here in Southwest Indiana now, which there isn't really much going on over here compared to how much there is going on over there. But once again, my friend, that is very interesting. That is very interesting. And once again, though, we are still going to be watching those areas closely, as we still got Storm Chaser Brian Kopic still around. Looks like he's losing a little bit of signal right there, but we still got some areas to still watch for, as those areas will likely continue to head towards the north and northeast, like I said. So we will continue to watch those areas very closely once again. So we definitely will need to be watching that very closely. Liz from the Storm Prediction Center still wants to show, that possibility for, a couple of tornadoes here and there, as, we do head into the or not the afternoon, but the later evening hours. So, once again, we are still going to continue to watch those areas very closely. And, latest from the Storm Prediction Center still does show that there is a relatively greater threat for tornadoes along that cold front and warm front as they do intersect. So once again, we are still going to continue to watch those areas very closely, as those will likely continue to get close together. So yeah, we definitely will continue to watch those. So, we definitely, once again, will need to continue to be watching a little bit closely, as, this is still going to be something that, once again, be keeping an eye out on, as this is still going to be a little bit of a concern. We don't really have a whole lot going on, up here in Kansas anymore, but once again, we still got these, couple of tornado warnings still ongoing across these same areas. So places like Caney, Tushka, up there towards Stringtown, you guys need to be in your safe spots. It looks like this tornado warning has just expired, but we still are going to be watching those areas, up there towards, parts there of Gertie, Calvin, Sturt in Oklahoma. So we will need to be watching those areas, like I said, as this is still looking to continue to be a little bit on the concerning side of things, like I said. But once again, we are still going to continue to watch those areas closely, as we still even have that tornado possible tag there, with once again that potential for tornado and perhaps some 60-mile-per-hour winds across those areas. So we will still continue to watch those areas a little bit closely. And once again, not really too much going on over here in, the eastern United States, but, if we look at one of these radars, though, not really too much going on, but maybe some scattered showers and storms ongoing in parts there in the Midwest. It looks like, we did get a special weather statement in effect for areas just to the south there of Topeka. And this one does not really seem to be that crazy, but it is still going to be something to really be keeping an eye on, as this is still likely going to, still be capable of maybe producing a tornado or two. Let's see here. Well, I was born in Germany. My mom, German, and dad, American, stationed in, Bavaria. Interesting, my friend. Are you talking about Bavaria in the UK, I assume? But once again, that is very interesting, my friend. I'm glad you're telling me more about it, because, I definitely have not heard a lot about the UK before, but it's definitely, an interesting place to say the least. But once again, though, we are still watching those areas down there, and these tornado warnings are starting to, shrink down quite a bit. As you guys can see, they're starting to get pretty small, indicating that these storms, could be dying down a little bit. But we still got that massive severe thunderstorm warning, in effect for 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-sized hail heading from road US 69 all the way up there towards Ashland. Okay, so you guys are still currently under a severe thunderstorm warning, like I said, with still a couple of tornado warnings still in effect, as we will still continue to see that potential for a couple of isolated tornadoes and perhaps a strong one. We'll have to see what happens. If we look at the report trend for today, as you guys can see, we mostly had that wind, like I said. No tornado reports just yet, but I assume we'll probably have a few, especially after that tornado that we had earlier has been confirmed. So, once again, we are still going to continue to watch those areas very closely, as we still got these storms that are still a little bit capable of producing a tornado. And once again, some of these storm chasers have lost a little bit of service, but they are in an area that is pretty close to that tornado warning still. So once again, we will still continue to watch that very, very closely. And so, it's just, something to still be aware about and be weather aware about if you do live in, Savannah, in Oklahoma, all the way down there into, at, Oka, and, even some other areas, but they're, starting to drive through that area. Looks like Mr. Storm, has some service around. Let's look at him. Wow, pretty interesting down there. Got quite a bit of light down there, and this is another decent sized city down there in Oklahoma where storm chaser Vince Walty currently is. Let's see here, and there is nearly the end of me, as it is 10 minutes to midnight. I mean, Bavaria in Germany. Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I heard about that place. Germany is also very interesting as well. I mean, I always wanted to go up there to go visit, areas around that area. I just assume that, you probably been enjoying areas up there in the Europe area, and like I said, I think I'm probably gonna go visit some of those places as well. They seem to be very interesting, to say the least. But once again, still are watching these two tornado warnings still that are still currently in effect for those areas up there towards places like Gerke in Oklahoma, and as well as these areas down there towards parts of Berg, Flora, Limestone Gap, Wellesley, even up there towards Warville. You guys need to make sure you guys are in your safe spots, as this is still going to continue to be something to keep an eye on. It looks like they did extend that tornado warning to now include Savannah, Kauai, Pittsburgh in Oklahoma, Asheville. You guys need to make sure you guys are in your safe spots, as once again we do have a radar indicated tornado warning still currently in effect for those areas. So make sure you are taking this very seriously once again if you have not already. we also, are gonna continue to watch these other areas as well. The only thing that has really been a little bit different is that, we are starting to see a little bit less of tornado warnings. Plus, some of them have even started to get a little bit on the smaller side of things too, as well, at least for the size of them. So, yeah. But it's pretty late now, guys. This is the longest I could be live for, and I'm sorry about that beepy noise if that's kind of weird to you guys. But like I said, guys, I think this is where I'm about to end my live stream, because like I said, it's really late, and been live for quite a while covering a lot of this. So thank you guys very much for joining me, especially you Kawi. Thank you so much for joining me. And if I said your name on, I assume I'll just say Willington. But like I said, thanks for joining me. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day. And, like I said, make sure to subscribe so that way we can go live tomorrow, as this will likely start to ramp up. So I hope you guys all have a great day. And I don't think I'm going to be live anymore, but if this does start to ramp up, you guys can go live with Ryan Hall, because like I said, it's pretty late right now, and so this is about the time that I'm gonna go to bed, and I hope you guys all have a great day.